Alright. 2 packages. This is when I usually open this one. I'm just trying to decide which direction I open from. I'm also not quite sure what this is. Still not quite sure what this is. But, you know, I mean, I know it's anime. It's just that I've been on top of everything shipping. You know, I still don't know what this is. It's a Funimation release. Number 24. I was wondering if that said something like production IG. It kind of seems like a similar font, but, you know, it obviously wasn't, so I was confused. Let's actually put it first, since, you know, I already read the name out. It's a Funimation release. Looks, you know, about hot guys. And I'm having trouble getting this sticker to come off. Okay, it wasn't just my imagination. Okay, but teamwork, sports, drama, humor, regions A and B, English dub, and cute boys. Okay, teamwork, sports, drama, humor, and cute boys. And it certainly does seem to be living up to that. Like, for people who would be into that, that strikes me as kind of the stereotype. Oh my god, everything's being stubborn tonight. It's only 3 little DVDs, so, you know, it might take me a little longer than you would think. Let's see. 2 discs. More hot guys in various states of undress. Kind of hard to see them. I mean, usually don't look too closely. You know, I figure we don't get this too much, and people who are really into that sort of stuff may appreciate it. There are a lot of what looks like all guys on there. And of course, I always forget to re-enter. Oh, there's 2 of them. I wonder if this means somebody didn't get 1. Next up, we've got Baki that says complete collection. Something tells me this is not Baki the Grappler. Although this could be, you know, another implementation of the same manga, Sentai. Which is consistent with the lack of Funimation sticker to peel off. Now, I mentioned Baki the Grappler like I'm familiar with it, but the truth of the matter is I've only purchased it on DVD. I've never actually watched it. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily bad. But it just never ended up on the top of my list. I wish this would focus on the English dub part. Region A includes all 26 episodes on 3 discs. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this. Oh, it's right side up. That was confusing me. I thought that was a foot, but I think that's an arm. Those are people in suits. Alright. And then last but not least, Listen to Me, the complete season. This one looks kind of intriguing. Slice of life. The character at the front, a girl or a guy? The blonde one there. I mean, it's probably, you know, it's actually pretty late at night and I can't see very straight. And I can't just tell if maybe that's Oh, it's actually Wave Listen to Me. Wave. I mean, this angle definitely makes them look more girlish. I just wondered if it was maybe one of those shows. Oh, nice. Where, okay. See, I'm wondering if that was a nurse outfit and they work, but no, this is all about radio stuff, hence the mention of radio stuff on the back of the DVD. I say DVD, but actually, technically, I mean Blu-ray, and I call it the Anime DVD Collection Update, even though there's nothing but Blu-rays. I've said this before, Region AB, English dub. It's been a day for English dubbed anime coming out, I guess. Not that there's a lot, but that, you know, there are a couple things. The names don't sound familiar, so I don't think they quite were like chart toppers per se, but then again, at this point, I don't hear enough about stuff to really. Anyways, here's this week's Anime DVD Collection Update. So I can't remember if I watched any more Magical Girl Ore. I might have, but I don't know if I did. I watched like one more episode. It's possible I watched a second one, but I'm pretty sure I watched the 0 to 1 episodes of it. And I don't recall anything that would make me say anything new about it, so we take all that. And the other thing that made this week weird was I ended up only getting together for dinner with my Friday friend. He had a schedule thing come up and we only ate dinner so he could prepare for things. I think the next day, but maybe it was later in the evening, but I'm pretty sure the next day. So anyways, you got that. Then you got, you know, I kind of hopped on the VR chat because I haven't done that in a while. But instead, I guess there was focus on video games. I actually reached a notable point in Monster Hunter Rise where I've completed all the high rank quests. And think of that more as just how much time I'm spending in the game as opposed to anything. I did some focusing on some award related stuff, you know, made sure I got all the fishing done, and there was something else. Pictures of all the endemic life. Those fucking squid are really hard to get. I mean, I kind of suspected they'd give me problems, but I was really annoyed at how annoying it was to get ones that are usually in the middle of the pack. But it pretty much means I could, if I really wanted to, take a break from Monster Hunter. And I definitely changed gears for a little bit here. So, I've talked about all that stuff, but you can probably guess that I'm actually leaning towards I did watch something we're talking about. So, in a nutshell, you know, I watch plenty of YouTube videos. YouTube recommends clips here and there, and it kind of, you know, recognizes, oh, not only do I like short little clips, but I also like occasional anime ones that come up, and I think it tries to guess. You never know. I mean, it can be such a piece of crap sometimes that it doesn't matter, and sometimes it just gives you treasures. Now, this wasn't a treasure, but this was, basically, I watched the first 21 episodes of So I'm a Spider, So What? If that's its name. That's its approximate name. If you know the anime, you know the anime. And I've been familiar with it because I have seen YouTube link stuff before. It's just that I think the one clip I had seen, I didn't want to see too much of it. I was just kind of curious. Made me think, okay, yeah, it's an Izakaya Reborn. The main character is a monster now. But at that point, I didn't see anything that would make me want to go and seek it out. For the most part, I mean, this is, you know, since I've watched it, I can talk a little bit about it, and it's a bit of a thing to it. So there's this form of Japanese entertainment where the main character continuously talks a lot, usually about themselves and their experience, which doesn't sit as well for me. And I'm guessing a whole lot of that is Japanese society is probably more oppressive, and people don't
say what's on their mind a whole lot and stuff. And so I think this is probably something really born from that, and maybe there's just different ways of executing it that have mostly not satisfied me, and then a couple handful that have. But you know, you kind of see it a lot, and it's not even just in this show. It's like Gintama. I think the titular character kind of does that kind of I'm sorry that I'm babbling. There's one part of me that was trying to think what he was saying in English, and another part that was like, should I say in Japanese, and then the third part that's like, you can't speak Japanese, you fucking idiot. So instead, I just babbled incoherently. But the point is, you know, like, Gintama has a lot of funny little skits, and I've watched those on YouTube here and there. And there's one where the titular character has sleep paralysis, which is basically a kind of, you're awake, but parts of your body still thinks it's asleep. So there's some parts of the body that like locks your body in place to try to reduce the amount of movement you do while you're dreaming and stuff like that. And you know that a lot of hallucinations and stuff get created because of this sort of stuff. And so you can kind of be in this sort of awake state where you think you see something that's in real life that's not really there at all. And I've definitely hovered on the edge of some of those, and usually they have to do with thinking there's a bug in my bed. Well, usually a lot of bugs in the bed, and you know, having to wake up and kind of regain a bearing on reality. That's pretty harsh, but you know, that's the source of lots of, or this is a presumed source of a lot of things, such as night demons that sit on your chest and things like that. Because you know, the inability to move your chest can kind of make it feel like there's a pressure on your chest that prevents you from moving it, as opposed to your body's just preventing you from sending the muscle signals to tell you to move. So, you know, lots of weird stuff. And of course, again, the hallucination stuff has to do with the brain still kind of in generating dreams modes, and so it kind of tends to generate things that aren't there, but because you're kind of in an awake state, it feels way more real than something that your brain came up with. It's a very strange thing. Anyways, the point was, the main character was in that state, and you know, talking kind of continuously in a comedic sort of way. And I think it kind of worked a little bit in Gintama, but again, you know, it's that sort of thing that normally I don't enjoy in and of itself. And it struck me that So I'm a Spider, So What has a lot of that, because so if you compare it to other isekai, you know, normally if a character is just in an isekai and they're a normal human character, then they're pretty much going to immediately dump them into meeting some other sort of human characters from there and interaction like that. With something like Reincarnated as a Slime, you know, it's a little slower in that, but it is there's still a build-up to interacting with sentient creatures that happens pretty quick. And So I'm a Spider doesn't do that, so it kind of sits in this place where a lot of the entertainment has to do with our main character, the spider. And there's a couple things it does that, well, basically, you know, I noticed that, you know, I got this general feel for it really back then, that it wasn't really about this person becoming an interesting spider, definitely, but rather kind of their experience being a spider, sort of. I mean, it's both, but you can kind of feel like it was weighted more towards, you know, just experiencing stuff as they went. And that can be good, but it's not the sort of thing that makes me think, oh, I gotta dive into the show. And yeah, basically I kind of read that, and I would say my reading was pretty accurate. So you have to understand, I think there is still, season 1 is still airing, but it is 2 core. And a core is that half or that dozen episode-ish size thing that you might notice happens twice, and halfway through, oh wait, halfway through a season, that's when the opening or the ending change or something like that. So I think that concept is called a core, and I haven't double checked this, but I think Spider is 1 season, still currently airing, but currently 2 core. With 1 core being completed, and the 2nd core is the one that's currently airing. So with the 1st core, it's pretty much divided into 3 things. And so there's this element that's especially emphasized a little bit near the beginning of the main character being a spider and just living as a spider, which is okay. It just needs to usually get from somewhere from there to get my interest. But it also does this side story. So this is an isekai where the main character died and was reincarnated as a spider. But the basic premise of the show is they weren't the only one, which sounds really like it could be interesting. But the main issue I'd say is the main interesting character is our spider character, but everybody else is, for the most part, humans. I mean, they pretty immediately established that one person did not resurrect as a human, and they are a familiar for another character. But for the most part, you know, it keeps jumping back and forth between them. So you have the spider stuff, and you have the what I'm going to call the hero's quest sort of stuff, where the other one is a maybe kind of sort of isekai, and it borders somewhere between mediocre to great at times. I mean, maybe great is too much. Maybe good is better. I wouldn't be as excited about the show if it was about mostly that stuff, but I think they're doing stuff there that is supposed to tie into the stuff with our main character. But the interesting thing was I just kind of predicted there wouldn't be crossover there. What I didn't know is that the other part of the life of the spider thing is the action component, and I actually felt like this show exceeded in that pretty well. Like, even first core stuff, it's like, okay, this stuff is actually kind of interesting, and not just, oh, the main character's making wise cracks. I mean, they're not trying to make them, but that's kind of a weird term. My brain is trying to categorize that form of entertainment under. And all that's good. That might have actually made me be interested when it comes out on DVD. But what got me interested in the show was, like I said, YouTube clips of shows, and I saw, oh, hey, there's some more clips from So I'm a Spider, and that one's quick and doesn't seem to be a plot spoiler. So, you know, I think I ended up watching 2 of them, which let me know that the series was actually going in a direction I was more interested in, which is our main character actually interacting with people. I say people, and I mean sort of like reincarnated as slime, which is other sentient life forms. And it looked like some of that does start happening, and it does start happening in the second core. And I'm not going to go into complete detail on what's going on there, especially since right now that's currently airing, but it was some satisfying stuff. I was just kind of surprised that there wasn't more satisfying, per se. I mean, it was a little satisfying, and what really interested me is the YouTube clips only showed the part that actually were the right build up to, okay, I want to see the part that happens right after that, and I don't want to search for that on YouTube. And this is what ultimately led me to firing up Crunchyroll, and I really do not like that Silk Almond Milk commercial. There's something about the music that I can't put my hands on, but there's something about that music that really rubs me the wrong way. And yeah, basically that's pretty much been my main thing. In fact, part of the reason I'm so late tonight is catching up on that. And then I was also working on actually a little bit of VR chat avatar stuff. It's weird to call it avatar stuff because technically what I'm doing is more playing around with particle system stuff. But, you know, you do that on avatars, and you need to publish an avatar in order to publish the particle system in some manner. But, yeah. But that's you know, just what I was doing tonight, distracted by that, and that's why I'm recording this at nearly 1 a.m. So I should plan to go to bed after this. But, overall, you know, I've only seen 21 episodes. 22 episodes have aired, but the free Crunchyroll doesn't allow me to watch episode 22 just yet. And I've got the hiccups. Hooray. But a part of me is also thinking that since I've caught up, I should probably be playing a game of figure out when the next episodes come up and just watch one episode at a time as they come out. I don't know if this season's going to end the show or not. I had certain theories about the story going in that I'm now way less sure about. And if my understanding of if my guesses had been true, then season 1 definitely wouldn't have been anywhere near over. But right now, I don't know. It feels like if it did end, it would be missing something. But guess I don't want to talk too much about what that might be, because that feels a little spoilerish. But overall, I enjoyed getting here. I would have kept watching it while I was finishing that stuff, but again, I finally reached a pausing point there, which basically means maybe either watch something else or back to Monster Hunter, or maybe a little bit of both. Back to the norm. Outside of that, I can't really think of anything else to talk about, so y'all have a nice week.